welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Sharon, aka the Melanin Nostalgic Runner. Today we're doing another Get Fit with Me series yoga edition, and we haven't reviewed this YouTuber in a long time, and she's actually outside of who I would normally review, but I noticed with her channel, this is the other reason why I like to go to her channel occasionally. She has a lot of yoga videos that are very niche to just her. And so she's kind of dope. She does have a large following, so it's not for that reason. But I've been passing this, and I've also been trying to pass things, if you get the drift. And yeah, so this called to me, and the yoga routine is a 10-minute yoga routine called Yoga for Fart and Poop. Yeah. So, hey, we all as humans have this issue. When you feel bloated and you need things to leave, exit. And the yogi who I'm reviewing is Yoga with Bird. I would definitely check out her channel if you are looking for just anything that's really niche. She has quite a few good videos. She has yoga for periods. She has a lot of yoga for bloating too, which I don't know if those who are new to doing yoga are familiar, but those who are experienced with yoga, you may or may not know. If you are having issues with things moving along, there are definitely some yoga poses you can do to help move things along. When I was new to doing yoga, going to yoga classes, that was always something that I found kind of weird. Sometimes I would just hear people relieve themselves, which to me is kind of, I don't like doing that in public, but it's a natural thing. Sometimes you gotta go. And also too, it is a practice that's used to kind of help move things along. It's supposed to help with your digestive system. Long story less long. I probably should have just said yoga to help digestion, but the actual name of the video is what I said. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. So in today's practice, we are going to start in a tabletop position and getting pretty much settled into the practice. I'm doing some cat and cows. Once we complete doing some of the cat and cows and also really starting to move around, including adding some figure eights into that and moving our hips, we then are going to make our way into a child's pose. And then from the child's pose, we are going to make our way to pretty much our one and only downward facing dog for the practice, pedaling the dog as we are in downward facing dog. There, we are going to make our way back down to extended child's pose and just holding ourselves in that for a couple of breaths. after going back into our extended child's pose, we then are going to make our way down to our backs, and then lifting our feet in the air, so just having our knees bent. And then with this, we're going to use this to do a supine twist on each side, getting some relief with that, with our knees up, and then, doing our twist and having our hips in the proper position, of course. After we do that supine twist on both sides, we then are going to then put our knees into our chest and give ourselves a nice tight squeeze. And then from there, we're going to then grab our feet, and you can either just stay in that pose where you just grab your feet and you're kind of like in a variation of a cobbler pose, or you can extend it all the way into either a saddle pose or a happy baby pose. And then you're just going to be rocking back and forth and kind of playing along with this pose. You can just stay just in it, rocking back and forth, or you can just also then go one side with the legs straight and the other side, but just basically being very playful with this pose. After being in a happy baby, then we are going to go back to just giving ourselves a nice tight squeeze again. You can either stick with giving yourselves a nice tight squeeze, or just do the variation that I just did here, where I'm grabbing my legs instead of grabbing grabbing all of my leg, just grabbing like the hamstrings of the leg, to kind of just give yourself a squeeze. You could do either variation. And then from there, we're going to put our feet on the mat as wide as a yoga mat, with our knees touching as a resting pose, before we then settle into concluding the practice in Shavasana. And then from Shavasana, of course, we're going to just make our way back to a seated position, and that will conclude the practice. So nice, short and sweet, and roughly 10 minutes. a slight correction. We actually don't go into Shavasana. Instead, we actually then, from having our knees touching and then having our feet as wide as the yoga mat, this is actually the resting pose we concluded with before we then windshield wiper our legs and then make our way back up to a seat position. So I just wanted to call that out. But anyway, that does conclude the practice. Thank you. So that does conclude the video for today. How I'm gonna rate it. I am going to give this video for Yoga with Bird. I'm going to give it a solid 8.5. I honestly wish it was a little bit longer, so that's kind of the only reason why it's not higher. For 2, but the good news is it worked. Yeah, it worked. I definitely feel things moving along, which is great. So I would say if you're stuck, we'll call it stuck. If you're stuck, this is definitely a good practice to go with. It is nice and easy, not too difficult. I did enjoy it, except for, I wish it was longer. It definitely was kind of more of a recovery yoga, but also I kind of already knew Happy Baby was going to be one of the poses because, again, I mentioned this in the intro. If you've ever went to a yoga studio and people do Happy Baby, people be letting things go in Happy Baby. And I'm just like, wow, I can't do that. It's just not in me to do that. But I respect it. You do what you need to do. But yeah, it's a thing. And I know the older you get, the harder it is to control that stuff anyway. So it is what it is. But anyway, please like, comment. I was going to just go ahead and end it because I don't really know what else to say. I think it was a good video. And I do want to check out more of her other videos too. Again, I'm going to put her link in the description. And now I'm about to sneeze, so I really am going to let you go now. Please like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you get anything out of the content. It's your girl Sharon, aka the Melanin Nostalgic Runner, and I will see you next time. Bye.